Alright, I kind of skipped over it in my last video, but I'll give it another run today. She's running pretty slow.
Allow people to buy recreational pot at dispensaries. State leaders say they expect it to be a huge money
maker. Doctorate of guys
One
in the
expert,
mill.
in fact, told the New York Times
legal
cannabis in Jersey may eventually become a
autoflowers,
$3 billion
CBD
industry.
differentials,
Right now, there's a unique controversy
stem lab
playing out across
phenotypes,
that state. According to New Jersey law,
crossbreeds, German
police officers
golden
can
retrievers
get
and
high
black labs,
when they're not
chocolate
on the
labs.
clock. The state's attorney general writes, police
lab.
departments may not take adverse action against any officers because they
get
do
to
or do
phenotypes
not
type
use
2, which
cannabis
is
off-duty.
controlled growth
In other words,
management.
no punishment for off-duty cops who smoke weed
Even
or eat edibles or whatever. CBC's Valerie Castro on the calls to change that law.
While the state of New Jersey opens the doors
Look,
for
it's a great
recreational
job. You don't
marijuana
keep
on
one of the kids
Thursday,
on the farm,
one city
test
mayor
them on
says
the dual
those doors will
diagnosis
stay
standards
shut
of what
for
you're
local
doing,
law
phenols,
enforcement.
types,
Jersey City
spectrums,
Mayor Stephen
ranges,
Fulop tweeting
you
that
know,
JC
different
officers
seed
on
types,
duty
mango
and off
stocks,
duty will not
right,
be permitted
Shepherd?
to partake.
They're going to develop like that. It is mathematically a law of the universe, and our human brains, squirrel brains do the same thing, different frame rate, but they still do it. You get into you're getting the probability on the world record speed run for Shangri-La's Punch-Out, right? Making grenades and we're talking about off-duty cops and stuff like that, dealing with the PSTD and the, what do they call it, memetics of the situation. Yeah, really different. Dual diagnosis. We can do the Mason's game. Set that thing up in a graduated cylinder on a field in a theory.
In Jersey City, people finding themselves on both sides of the argument.
Like I said, that kid that didn't get the taxes, pay attention to the cop in town about the numbers, what are you doing with them? You fucking Green Revolution. I'm gonna destroy you on that, and, well, it's not that I mind that. Here, being that Scooby-Doo type is fine. However, not when you do it. And again, that graphic is across the board. Whether I am, whether I'm not, I want the boss to represent my rights. My rights are a number. My rights are this. Whether I do that or not, I shouldn't be punished raises, I shouldn't be augmented from timelines, I shouldn't be any of those things, because on the other end of that, you're telling me, what, the coke in the other end of it, and bath salts. I mean, if it's 3 fucking weeks, a couple of months sometimes to clean out your system, you know, that is fucking horseshit. Alcohol. At any rate, you know, you're gonna hit this right here. I'll just keep it going for you, show you what I do. I bring up that stem log because I talk about it from time to time. You know, just those little seeds inside of there about, believe me, I was blitzed through most of this. Remember this page right here? Fucking cranked, right? You know, so I don't necessarily consider that to be the issue. You know, how about the ones at the time work fraud cases of these guys in here? Well, they're going to ask me some questions if it happened in front of me about the detailed information and what happened, the organization, and making sure I can hit the minor 49er when they bring around the mystery machine. You know, sometimes you're just going to need, what is it, reading railroad or something like that, or boxcar kids or something. I don't remember what the hell they're called. Anyways, inside here, the arresting, time out, is going to be, again, that stem log in that system. Let's see, maybe it's just me, I don't know. I haven't really got a chance to shake anybody out. I'm not working with anybody directly here at the moment, but what would I tell you? I'd tell you to identify the problem. I'd tell you to start working it out. I'd say, okay, so phenotypes and so on and so forth. If I wanted to run the dual diagnosis of just, well, the first one of those, doesn't matter. You could get both of them, but do you have either of them? No. It's like Dust to Dawn. You get in there. I hear silver can kill vampires. Well, anybody got any silver? No. All right, then. I mean, damn. You're going to have to work with what you got. The world is an issue even if you have, well, what do you got? A whole garden, big footage, indoors, outdoors. You subbed in a city. What are you buying? In terms of, oh, yeah, well, to make a difference in 2 plants. I mean, who grows it could correlate to a finished result that it has. I mean, over the watering cycle, if you yielded it differently, there'd be 2 different yields. So intake and outtakes or conditional models reference those bandwidths of that system and actually logging that that run, that it's its own test. 3B did it with this. You do a pot garden, and that's how you run that, and that would be that field. You would feel field strengths relative to that, right? Here's the seed. You're gonna grow that shit, right? And that's a fire flower on that. And it's also, well, if I can grow that, and there's chemical elements inside of that plant that I want for whatever reason, that's gonna be gold. That's a gold 3 ion right there for medical treatments and studies about the Jacobian, the matrixing standard model of the periodic table in a couple of different forms. And these are a lot of different forms of that gold 3 ion, different ways to break it down. Dealing with if the farm was a cow farm, and we needed some real live physics, psychology, the real questionnaires, in terms of those other subject matters, to again, what is it, digital dermatitis on a white line defect of a cow's hoof. I would want to know what is the reaction, grain ridge reaction, in terms of what that is. Now, that's probably not the name of it, but this is salicylic acid, and if I had to take 500 aspirin pills here and using acinol to separate them, I know how, and we can save old Betsy's foot right there, or whatever plant. What is it, 111 or a 100 for your nitrogen on your garden, right? Yeah, or your grass treatment plants. Why don't you go down to a pond and just sludge out the bottom, thin out the mix a little bit, so it's an organic 111. And you'd probably have a better system inside of your yard that's organic, and probably actually a lot better. Let me give you an idea. Here's worm castings. If at the proper ratio, it would be about a roughly a brown solution in water. But you can make it a 111 just by raw worm castings, right? Just a bag of worm casting is 100 or 111, and you just take a handful of that, you spread it across the ground, and you water it. Or you could put it in a solution, shake it up, and spray it all over there, water the yard or something before a rainstorm. And you've done everything the same way, but you didn't track it the same way because it didn't come out of a bag that said somebody had done it for you. And because of that, Scooby-Doo, you better get a clue. No Scooby snack for you. Catch you on the next one.